Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. Okay, so in this video, we're doing our back to basics. Remember, we were doing the back to basics, going through all the interviews in the Nicola Bulley case, because we now have only 4 more sunrises before the inquest on Monday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 more sunrises. And then the inquest will start and hopefully we'll get some definite answers. So in the build up to that, of course, I've been doing the Back to Basics series and trying to plod through the 17 interviews that Emma White gave. 17, more than everybody else put together. Even if you put together the interviews Paul did, which were only really 2, but if you include the voice note, that's 3. The one interview that Nicola's mum, dad and sister did, and even if you include the police interviews, you do not get to 17. So Emma was extraordinarily active with these interviews. And I'm trying to chase down everyone. This that I'm going to look at today is number 13. Not necessarily in the order she gave the interviews, but number 13 in how I've been able to find them. So, but I've still got 4 to go. So there's 4 interviews that I haven't covered yet. So if anybody knows of where I can find any that I haven't covered yet, anyway, I'm sure they'll pop up one way or another. I will find them. So we're going to look at this one, and I don't know what date it was made. Unfortunately, this has sort of come off TikTok, YouTube, which came off TikTok. So somebody's, a lot of things have disappeared, haven't they? So they take a lot more sort of chasing down now than they did before. But we're going to look at this interview, and it's a very interesting interview. As usual, Emma has got her eyelashes on, etc., etc. No tears. The only tears, real tears, that I've seen in those interviews were from Dot and Ernie, weren't they? And Louise looked shell-shocked, I'd say. She didn't. I don't think she actually cried. But, the only genuine emotion that I've seen when I've looked at, all these interviews that I've looked at is from Nicola's parents. And I feel emotion. I was thinking about that when I did the live last night. I did the video on Dot and Ernie and that interview yesterday morning. I actually got upset because I feel the emotion. I feel the emotions of people. When I watch Paul's interview, I just get angry. I don't get upset, and I want to be upset, if you like. I want to feel empathy for Paul, because there's part of me thinks, oh my goodness, he must be going through this. But I don't feel that from Paul. So maybe because, he's on tranquil, I don't know what, I can't say what the reasons are that I'm not feeling any empathy towards him. All I can say is I'm not feeling any empathy towards him because I don't feel it from him. I can't get emotional because I don't feel emotion from him. I have to feel the emotion. I don't feel it from Emma either. I mean, really, is there any interview that we've watched with Emma? I'm sorry, she's supposed to be a friend. Why is she not upset? I just don't understand it, Anyway, this is another one. And maybe she's just like being Mrs. Efficient, and she's just she's trying to get on with it and that. But it doesn't matter how much you're trying to get on with it. There'll always come a point where you just can't hold back. Same with Ernie. He held himself together through most of the interview and Dot. There comes a point where you just can't anymore, So, okay, so let's have a look at this interview. I should do the housekeeping first. So, remember, you can always buy my Confessions of a Spanish Teacher book if you're interested in learning a little bit about me and my own experiences with stalking, with inquests, with coroners. And also, it's not all doom and gloom in that book. There's some funny things in there as well. If you want to learn Spanish, you can. My books are behind me. Ooh, You can see them behind me. That's the Confessions of a Spanish Teacher book with the Spanish books break the language barrier if you want to learn Spanish on either at home, or you can do Zoom classes with me as well. But the books, to be honest, you can learn at home using the books. They're all backed up by a separate my other YouTube channel, which is about learning Spanish and English. And they're all available on Amazon. So my books are available on Amazon. Actually, I should have had that prepared. Oh, I'm going to do that because I don't often do that. Put them up on Amazon just to show you. Right, so I've got to go back on present. Sorry, bear with me. I should have had this ready, but anyway. Share screen. Yeah, so if you are, this is Amazon.es, but these books are available on any Amazon site. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can buy my books if you want to learn Spanish. So you've got Break the Language Barrier Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, Level 5. There is a Level 4 as well. I don't know why they do it out of order like that. Then we've got Rocky the Rebel, which is a bilingual storybook. And Duque El Rey Peter El Tonto is the bilingual storybook. There's a couple of bilingual storybooks. And if you, that is where you should be able to get Confessions. Spanish Teacher. So in this book, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher, there you go. Confessions of a Spanish. You can get it on Kindle or book form, whichever suits you the best. But basically, I always meant to write this book because I've had some interesting experiences being a teacher and interpreter here in Spain. It started off as a blog, this, and then I thought I'm going to put it into a book form, and then I started writing. Oh, look at that! I've got. Oh, that's nice. I've got good reviews on there as well, which is good. I always forget to ask people, but if you do buy it and you do enjoy it, it would be handy to have a review as well. I should ask people more for reviews, but because obviously that's what leads people to buy it. So then, quite often, the reason I wrote this book really was quite often people said, "Oh, what made you go and live in Spain? How did it happen?" And you set off telling the story. It's such a long story. I thought, oh my God, this is a book in itself. So that's how it came about. It's almost like a diary, if you like. It's my story. I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed getting it out, because I've always enjoyed writing things down. And it tells. So trying to go back to when I actually, when was the start of me wanting to go to Spain was really when I was quite young, where I always wanted to go and live in a foreign country. I have no idea why, because my family, they're not a traveling family. We were poor. We were really poor. We never went abroad. We never did anything. The furthest we would go was Pwllheli in Wales, so it's not so. But I was always the one who wanted to travel, and I don't know why. Because it's not something in my family. I'm the only one who's gone to live in another country. So anyway, yeah, Vicky with an I, any Amazon site for either the Spanish books or the Confessions of a Spanish Teacher book. And then, of course, the other way you can help my channel, just by liking the videos, subscribing. I've just passed 1,800 subscribers, which is fantastic. So thank you for that. And thank you for every like, every share, every subscribe. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can join to be a member for €1.99 a month, where you get some extra footage, etc. You can send me a super sticker, super chat, super thanks, or super chat, super thanks. And there's another one, super something else. Or you can buy me a coffee on Ko-fi.com. Okay, that's it. So that's the housekeeping out of the way. So let's have a look now at this next interview. So this is interview 13 from the interviews I've covered, not necessarily in order, just as I've had, you know, as I've found the interviews, I've done a little analysis on them. Now you'll see there's something quite, this one, when we get to it, see if you notice it, what Emma says. Is it important, the phrasing that she uses? Let's see. Okay, let me just check that that's showing up on your thing. Yeah. Let's see.
2 weeks have been torturous for the family here in St Michael's on Wire, just desperate to find any information that helps them discover what's happened to Nicola Bulley, the mother, the partner, who hasn't been seen since she was walking her dog 2 weeks ago today. Now, the search is now focused downriver towards where the River Wire meets the Irish Sea, Knot End and at Morecambe Bay, and along that whole stretch. But today, the focus in St Michael's on Wire is with her friends, members.
Now, I just want to say there's something that strikes me every time when I watch any of these videos. That road, how busy it is. It is so busy. It's car after car after car. And that, to me, tells me two things. One, that there's no way on God's earth that Nicola would have left Willow running around so close to that road. You know, even if she did want to do something to herself, she would have made sure 100% that Willow was safe, because she loved that dog. And that dog, you know, could have come running out onto the road or anything. So that's the first thing it shows to me, how busy this road is. The other thing is, how can there not be any dash cam? Or, I mean, there may be. We may find out at the inquest that there is some dash cam that showed her. You know, because the police keep saying, oh, we've got no evidence to show that Nicola left the river. Where's the evidence that she even went to the river in the first place? Because I haven't seen any evidence of that. Have you? All those cars whizzing past, not one bit of dash cam or sighting. You know, nobody's saying, oh, yeah, I saw that woman with a dog. And, you know, people do notice things when they're driving. They notice people walking past, or dogs, you know, you might notice because you like dogs, or Nicola's an attractive woman, so a man might notice her going past, or just you might think, oh, where are they going? Or, you know, there's someone in all those cars that went past. I think there are about 800 cars. Are you not telling me that not one of them had dash cam and not one of them saw Nicola? So to me, I would say to the police, it's all right saying you have no evidence that she left the river, but you actually have no evidence that she went to the river. Whatever happened, whether it's foul play, whether it's whatever, where is the evidence that she went to the river? Maybe we'll see it at the inquest. I hope so.
Members of the community who've come together to try and jog the memory of anybody that would cross this bridge close to where Nicola Bulley went for that walk on the 27th of January. With me now is Emma White, one of Nicola Bulley's friends. Emma, this is just heartache for you.
You see that she jumps right forward. I mean, she does like being interviewed, whatever. It might just be the actress in her. She's obviously, from pictures we've seen of her, you know, she obviously maybe likes attention or drama type things and whatever. Fair enough. But if this is really your friend, I don't think you'd be reveling in it so much. She's loving being on the camera.
For the whole community over the last 2 weeks, but you're staying strong and hoping that today you will get some new information.
Yeah, we came out a week ago and we're back out today, so 2 weeks to just jog anybody's memory that might have those key bits of.
Oh, so it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. Okay. Sorry. So it's the second week milestone, obviously. Look, the way so see how she's doing, you know, she is like, I know she's an organised person. Sometimes you need an Emma, you know, sometimes when shit's going on, you need someone like Emma to take over and do stuff. But just seems to enjoy it too much when you bear in mind that this is your friend that's gone missing.
You see now the flurry of traffic going on, and this is the key piece of road that we're looking for. So Nikki went into the gate to go on her walk, and there's no footage of that gate, so we're just trying to get dash cam footage. The police have also done number recognition, so people have had letters that were here.
Yeah, she's always saying, so we're just trying to get dash cam footage. You know, the police are, but she says we, if it's the family or if it's the police. She's in on everything. Not only she's part of the police investigation, she's part of the family as well. She's part of everything. Yeah, maybe they did need an Emma. You know, maybe, you know, Emma's exactly what you need in that circumstance, which just seems to be enjoying it too much to me.
Hopefully, with us being out in force today, the number plate recognition, we do get some information that we vitally need.
Yeah, the police said earlier this week that they have contacted 700 drivers of vehicles that crossed over this area that day on Friday the 27th of January. And your hope today is that perhaps just somebody wasn't aware that they could have some vital information.
Yeah, I mean, if all the media would wonder how they haven't seen the story, but absolutely, so they might just come through the village every 2 weeks. So just anything, we just need something to go on.
Obviously, it's important that you can stay strong and be able to do these interviews.
Oh, yeah, she's, yeah, you know, she's such a martyr, isn't she? You know, I'm so glad I'm looking over these interviews, because you start to forget why you felt uneasy about it all in the first place. You know, you do forget. And when I watch this, you know, she just looks like, oh, yes, you know, poor me, I'm such a martyr.
To try and make sure that we don't forget what's happened here at St. Michael's on Wire. But how are you?
What's keeping us strong is obviously Nikki and Paul.
Yeah, so the reporter says to her, how are you? Meaning her, but she again replies with we, mentions Paul. You know, this Paul and Emma and Paul, Batman and Robin type thing, they're always associated together.
Children and my own children, we have to be resilient for them.
Yeah, now it feels like they're a blended family to me. You know, so she said, Paul and Paul's children and my children, we have to be strong for them. Why is it like talking about as if it's a blended family, as if, you know, they're all together? Oh, I just cannot shake this feeling that there's some sort of relationship going on here. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Obviously, they're aware Mummy is missing. But if we all crumble and we're giving no hope to them, aren't we? And we still have that hope that Nikki's out there, because we have no news.
This is such a small community, a small village school where Nikki and Paul's children attend.
Look at her smiling there. She's like, you know, where are the smiles coming from?
They were dropped off that morning. You still have contact with them. How are they coping?
Yeah, when they get home from school, they're asking Daddy the same question, any news? And Daddy sadly has to say no. And
now, how does she know when they get home from school? That's what they're saying. It feels like they're all together.
And Paul said he can just see them sort of deflate. But kids are resilient. They've got hope. They see Mummy's picture everywhere. They say everyone's out looking for the Mummy.
Poor
we
kids.
just want to bring them that news that we found Mummy, and Mummy's coming home tonight to put you to bed and give you those good night cuddles, which every Mummy should be doing.
And just behind us, you can see some of the members of the community with these posters. A very clear picture of Nicola Bulley's face. The day.
Sorry, I just want to go back. This childish way she talked about the children. I know they are children. Maybe I'm just being bad. But when she said, oh, we want them to come back to give them those mummy, what was it? Those mummy cuddles, good night cuddles.
There's a very clear picture of Nicola Bulley's face the day she went missing, and that number asking people to call 101.
101, yeah, just for any information, and it is just driving that awareness that somebody might see.
Sorry,
the day she went missing, and that number asking people to call.
I'm not going back far.
The community with these posters, a very clear picture,
which every mummy should be doing.
There, yeah, give them those good night cuddles.
Put you to bed and give you those good night cuddles, which every mummy should be doing.
And just behind us, you can see some of.
Maybe it's just the way Emma talks. It's all this sort of, you know, it's like magic. It's like what dreams are made of. It's the way she talks. It's sort of flowery, isn't it?
Of the community with these posters, a very clear picture of Nicola Bulley's face the day she went missing, and that number asking people to call 101.
101, yeah, just for any information, and it is just driving that awareness that somebody might see her. She might not even be in St Michael's anymore, but wherever she is, just bring Nikki home.
And how hard is it for you knowing that that search is extended towards the sea, that they just haven't been able to find any trace of Nikki in the river here?
We have to cling on to that. That's good news. So we've had the police in there, we've had Peter and his amazing team that we want to say thank you.
So Peter and his amazing team there, but as we saw in the live last night, if you watched that, I must put all these videos on a play. Well, they are on a playlist, so you could watch them one after the other, because in the police statement, or in the family statement, when Nicola was sadly identified, they say so-called experts. Are they referring to Peter Falding there? Whereas here, it's like, oh, thank you to Peter.
Thank you so much for giving their time and coming their way. So I think they're both singing from the same song sheet now, that she's not actually in from the bench to the weir. We categorically rule out Nikki is not in there, which we've got to hold on to. Good news. And then you look at the theories behind that are going into, if a victim does go in and drowns, that the hypothesis is that they just stay where they're put. So
yeah, that's the thing. That's the key thing in this interview. I think looking at her face there, it looks like she knows what she's saying. Let's have a look at that again. Victims tend to stay where they're put.
And drowns, that the hypothesis is that they tend to stay where they're put. So we have to cling on to all.
They tend to stay where they are put. Not where they fall, not where they go in, but they tend to stay where they are put.
They tend to stay where they're put. So we have to cling on to all these theories that I know, but we're still wanting that bit of evidence. And then I suppose that goes into a slight bit of frustration that the police, the mountain rescue, we've had Peter, we've had the community, we've had you guys all pulling together, working as a team, yet we still have no information. So that's where the frustration comes from. And when you work,
yes, all praising Peter, praising the media, so different from the police station statement or the family statement that was given by the police. What changed? What changed? Why did it go from, oh, thank you to everyone, to basically fuck off and leave us alone?
Work as hard as everyone is doing, we need a reward, and that would be Nikki.
Well, let's just hope that the team here are able to get some information today. If you have anything that you haven't yet shared with Lancashire Police, dial 101.
Right. Now, see how she goes then she sort of steps into that interview like a pro, doesn't she? And then steps out of it. I think normally people don't know what to do they, when they're being filmed or whatever? You know, would you know what to do, when to go into the camera, when to go back in, unless they'd told her that. Oh gosh, quite often when she's talking, she reminds me of the Ian Huntley case, Maxine Carr, but the way she stepped forward there and stepped back, it reminded me of his interview. That's exactly what he did. He sort of came forward. The way they talk is very similar. But so what did you think about that? Let me know in the comments. What did you think about what she said? Victims tend to stay where they're put. You know, it's like, gosh, what a mystery. What a mystery. Are we going to find out any more at the inquest? Well, remember, I'll be on live stream all day, Monday and Tuesday. I mean, I don't know if any of you, if you haven't had a confirmation that you can go to the inquest, you can't go to the inquest. I think the deadline was yesterday, wasn't it? That they were sending out emails to anyone who'd been confirmed to go. There's a lot of, some of Nicola's friends, aren't they? What's that lady's name? The one that put the tweet about if you need a safe place to stay, hasn't been offered a place at the inquest. But, they've only got 70 places. There'll be press there, of course. Well, there's 30 places for press and family. So who are they giving these 70 places to, I wonder, and why not a friend of hers, or maybe because she is a friend? I don't know. You know, and they said they'd vetted them. What do they mean by vetting them? Did they check their social media profiles, and if they'd made any comments on the case, you know, maybe then you didn't get to go if you'd made any comment whatsoever on it. Maybe they only accepted people who didn't have any social media profile. You know, we don't know what the criteria was. So, but basically, if you did apply for it and you haven't had an email yet to confirm that you can go, well, you can go, but you can't go in. So it'd be interesting to see. Will we even get to see if there are people outside or not? Because you know how the mainstream media totally controls the narrative, don't it? They will film what they feel like filming. Anyway, let me know, any of you, if you're going. You can always email me. There's an email in the description box if you it's VickyMarieChats@gmail.com. If you ever want to email me anything that you don't want to put publicly on here, and I promise you, not unless you said to me you want me to say it or you want me to bring it to people's attention, nothing will be brought to anyone. You know, that is just between you and me, totally confidential. I know it's easy for me to say, but I think if you've been watching me for a while, I think you'll know by now that I mean what I say, that anything that's sent to me that you want keeping confidential will be kept confidential. If you send me something and you say to me, oh, can you bring, you know, sometimes people don't want, might have some information or may have something to say, but they don't want to go on publicly and say it. And they can do that through me as well. If you've got something that you want to be brought to people's attention, you know, you can email me that. You send me an email and we can talk about it over email and decide what you want. So that's it for that interview. So I'm going to try and chase down the other. How many have I got to go? 4 more interviews to chase down. I'll try and get those hopefully before the inquest starts. So after the inquest, we'll know more, or we'll certainly have more information. We will have more information, that's for sure. Whether it's the information we want, or we think, or we, you know, whether we'll agree with the information is a whole nother matter. But at the end of the day, we will have some more information, unless the inquest is just adjourned and doesn't take place. So take care, and remember to always live and love very wisely. Thank you again for all the likes, all the subscribes, etc. Any support that you've given to my channel, thank you so much. Yep, live and love very wisely always. That's the most important thing, is to look after you. Look after you. It's very important, because you have to look after yourself in order to be able to look after other people. So make sure, you know, your welfare is really first. And as always, I'll see you very soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always go with you. Thank you so much.